This video is to help you with project number 4, where you're going to be making your own drum beats. Okay, we're going to break down everything that you need to do for it. So the first thing you need to do is go to Google Classroom. Under Classwork, you're going to find the assignment, and you're going to click the Soundtrap link. As long as you start the project this way, it makes your own copy of the assignment, and I'm able to see it. So you don't have to email me anything. You just click this, and it's going to start your project. So once you click it, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. And it's going to ask you to log in. And you're going to log in with the same Gmail you use for Google Classroom. Okay, so I'm going to log in. I don't think you can see this, but it's going. And once you log in, it's going to take you to the project. It'll just take a second to load here. Okay, so as long as you sign in like that, you don't need to email me anything. When you're done with the project, you just click Save and Exit Studio, and you are completely done. I can see it. Okay, so for this project, titled Project 4, Making a Drum Beat, you are going to be making a drum beat using the loops that we've been working with. Okay, so everything here you should be able to do. We're just doing some specific things. So to make a drum beat, we need 3 types of drums. We need a kick, a snare, and a hi-hat. All right, we're going to talk about what each one of those is. So the first thing I'm going to do, just to show you, all right, so look, kick, snare, hi-hat, the 3 main parts of a drum. Okay, so I have a little drum set here that we could play around with. So the first thing we add is a kick. Okay, so that's this big drum on the bottom, right, and it sounds like this. Let's take the metronome off. Has a very low and deep sound. This is our kick drum, okay? So let's get rid of this. We don't need this. Okay, so to find a kick in our loops, we're going to go to our little loop button right here. And we're going to X out of featured, and we are going to type in kick. And that is going to filter everything to kick drums. Okay, so you're going to see some of them have kick and snare, kick and cabasa, kick and tops, kick and snare. You don't want that. You only want the ones that say kick. Kick only. This will give you some kick drums. Alright, so we're going to find one that we like. I like this one, so I double click, and it's going to pop right in. I'm going to drag this out a little. There's our kick drum. Next thing we need is a snare drum. Okay, a snare drum is this one right here with the little white part, right? And it has a very high, punchy sound. Let's listen to it. Okay, so here's our snare. Here's our kick, snare. Again, snare, it's the one with the white top on it. It has a very high, crisp, punchy sound to it. Okay, so we're going to add our snare next. We can exit out of this, right? And now we're going to go up here. We're going to get rid of kick. And we can click the little X. And we're going to pop in snare, S-N-A-R-E. So once you do that, you're going to get a bunch of different snares. And again, you're going to see kick and snare, kick and snare, kick and snare. You only want the ones that say snare. So let's see this one. Ah, this is a whole beat. We don't want that. Here, club snares. These are just snare drums. It's snare only. This has hi-hat in it too. Here's a snare. That's a weird sounding one. Alright. Samba snare. Snare roll. Okay, you can hear they're all punchy sounds, right? So I like club snares. So we're going to double click that. It's going to jump in. And now let's hear our kick and our snare together. It's starting to sound like a drum beat now. We're adding one part of the drums at a time. Alright, next thing we have to add is called a hi-hat. The hi-hat is this little symbol right here. This little gold guy. Alright, and a hi-hat has a really, really high, tinny sound. Okay, let's listen to it. I'll show you on here. Here's our hi-hat. There's more of the sound. All right, hi-hats are used a lot in trap music. All right, so let's X out of that. We're going to go to our loops library. All right, we click our little purple guy. We're going to X out of snare. We're going to type in hi-hat. One word, or actually, we're just going to type in hat. We'll get a couple more things. So just hat. And then you're going to see hi-hats come in. Look, hi-hat, hi-hat. So let's listen to a couple of them. Fast hats. This has more than just hats. Here's hi-hats. There's trap. All these are hi-hats. So you're going to find a good hi-hat. Let's go with this one. Double click and I'll add it in. And now let's listen to our whole drum beat together. We have kick, we have snares, and we have hi-hats. All three things that you need. What do you know? Now we have a drum beat. We're adding one instrument at a time. So once you have all three, you're going to do the same thing that you always do. You're going to adjust the volume of every one. Okay, so let's get our kick. Maybe I'll raise the volume there. Snare, remember you just click and drag. See, if I leave the snares too low, it's not balanced with the kick drum. So I'm going to bring them up. Good. And now the hi-hats, I usually keep a little bit lower. Right? Because if I put them too far up, they take away from the kick and the snare. So they're best left in the back a little bit. So you're going to keep them a little bit lower. And there you go. Now we have a drum beat. Okay, so this is all that's required of you for the assignment. If you want 5 extra credit points, you're going to add some extra instruments using the loop library like we've been doing. So you're going to make it sound a little more like a song. So now that you have the drum beat that you created from the loops, you can add some other instruments. So for example, we're going to add a bass. Let's find one. Here, now I'll just keep this playing, and we'll just add a bunch in. There we go. Now let's get a piano. You can do guitar, whatever you want. I'm going to do piano. That's cool. And let's add one more. Why don't we do strings? Start to make your song. Again, adding the other instruments is not required, but if you want an extra 5 points, you're going to add those in. The only thing you need to do, however, are these 3. Kick, snare, hi-hat, and then you adjust the volumes, and then you have your drum beat. And that's it. You're going to click save. You are going to click Exit Studio, and then you are completely done. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to help you. All right, you know my email, or just post a question on Google Classroom. Okay.